I have schizophrenia, and my sister-in-law keeps whispering at me in an attempt to drive me insane. When Nadia moved in 6 months ago, I hadn't had an episode in over 2 years. My meds were working perfectly. My psychiatrist even said I was one of her success stories. Life was stable, predictable, safe, and the whispers started only when she was nearby. Quiet muttering, just loud enough to catch, but never clear enough to understand. I'd turn around and she'd look concerned, tilt her head, ask if I was okay, like she cared. The first few times I brushed it off. Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe my brain was playing tricks on me again, but it kept happening every single day. After my first breakdown in years, I was lying in bed, silently crying, telling myself it's just her. I'm not insane. Clara found me like that, and I finally told her everything. She immediately defended her sister. Nadia would never do that. She loves you. Maybe we need to call Dr. Patterson and adjust your medication. But here's what didn't add up. The whispers only happened around Nadia. Never when Clara and I were alone. Never at my office. Never at the grocery store or the gym. Only when her sister was in the room, in the hallway, in the kitchen cooking dinner. I started paying attention. Really paying attention. Nadia would mutter to herself while doing dishes, pause randomly in doorways like she was listening to something, move her lips without making any sound while staring at nothing, all while watching me from the corner of her eye whenever Clara left the room. My doctor adjusted my meds 3 times over the next few months. Higher doses, different combinations. Nothing changed. The whispers continued like clockwork. I felt like I was going insane all over again. The worst part wasn't even the whispers. It was watching Clara pull away from me. She'd look at me with this mixture of pity and fear, like I was broken beyond repair. Nadia played her role perfectly. Concerned sister-in-law, worried family member. She'd ask me how I was feeling every morning with this fake sweetness in her voice. She'd offer to make me tea. She'd suggest we all watch a movie together to help me relax. And through it all, the whispers never stopped. Last Tuesday evening, I was walking down the hallway when I heard it clearly for the first time. "You're losing it." Crystal clear, unmistakable. Her voice. I rounded the corner into the kitchen where she stood with a glass of water, looking completely innocent. Something in me just snapped. I yelled at her, told her to quit the charade and just admit it. Asked her why she was doing this to me, what she could possibly gain from destroying my mental health, from ruining my marriage. She stared at me for exactly 3 seconds, then burst into tears and ran out of the house. I knew immediately she was calling Clara. My wife hates being interrupted at work. I could only imagine how angry she'd be about this confrontation. I paced the living room for 2 hours until I saw both of them pull into the driveway together. Nadia had that perfect victim look on her face. Red eyes, trembling hands, Clara's arm protectively around her shoulders. That night, Clara sat me down and said she was struggling to understand everything that was happening, that it broke her heart to see me suffer, but it was just as hard to hear such serious accusations against her sister. Then she suggested I check into a psychiatric ward, said we needed professional help beyond what she could provide at home. Behind her, Nadia nodded with fake tears streaming down her face, playing the concerned sister-in-law perfectly. I felt my entire world collapsing. Clara was choosing her sister over me, over our marriage, over the truth, but I knew arguing would only make things worse, make me look more unstable, more dangerous. So I agreed to think about it, to consider getting more help. Instead, I started recording every strange pause, every whisper, every time she'd mutter to herself, every moment she'd stop mid-sentence when Clara walked into a room. I kept my phone in my pocket, recording constantly whenever Nadia was around. I had 40 videos in 3 days. Some showed her whispering while looking directly at where I was sitting. Others caught her saying words like crazy and broken and lost cause under her breath. One video had her practicing her concerned face in the hallway mirror before walking into the living room to ask how I was feeling. But the best one was from this morning. I had my phone propped up on the kitchen counter, partially hidden behind the coffee maker. Nadia walked in, looked around to make sure Clara was still in the shower upstairs, then stared directly at the camera and whispered, "You'll never prove anything. She'll always believe me over you." She didn't know she was being recorded. This morning at breakfast, I asked Clara if we could talk privately. I showed her everything, every single video, every timestamp, every whispered word. I watched her face go from defensive to confused to horrified to absolutely furious. She didn't say a word, just stood up, walked to Nadia's room and told her to pack her things. Nadia's been packing her bags for the last hour, and Clara hasn't left my side once.